Hello viewers, today we see the topic that is force and pressure. Question and answers. Now give two examples each of the situations in which you push or pull to change the state of motions of objects. So the answer is two examples of push forces are as follows. A heavy box at rest is pushed to move it from one room to the another. This changes the state of motion of the box. And the second example is a player pushes a football using his foot. This changes the state of motion of the ball. And the next one is two examples of pull forces are as follows. Rope is pulled to draw water from a well. This changes the state of motion of the water bucket. And next example is a drawer is pulled to open it and this changes the state of motion of the drawer. The next question. So give two examples of the situations in which the applied forces causes a change in the shape of the object. So here we have the answer. That is, two examples of forces that causes a change in the shape of an object are as follows. The first one is squeezing a plastic bottle or a ball which changes the shape of the bottle. And the next second one is deformation of the clay by pressing it between the hands. So like this we can use a stressing ball is also another example for the applied forces that causes a change in the shape of an object. Next, the third question is fill in the blanks in the following statements. So the question is to draw water from a well, we have to dash at the rope. So pull or push? It's a pull. Next question. A charged body dash an uncharged body towards it. The answer is attracts. And the third question is to move a loaded trolley, we have to either pull or push it. The north pole of a magnet dash the at north pole of another magnet. It repels. Sorry. Uh, so the fourth question is an archer stretches her bow while taking aim at the target. So she then releases the arrow which begins to move towards the target. Based on this information, fill up the gaps in the following statements using the following terms. So muscular, contact, non-contact, gravity, friction, shape, attraction. And the answer is to stretch the bow, the archer applies a force that causes a change in its shape. And the force applied by the archer to stretch the bow is an example of a muscular force. The type of force responsible for a change in the state of motion of the arrow is an example of a contact force. While the arrow moves towards its target, the forces acting on it are due to the gravity and that is due to the friction of the air. So the next So the fifth question is the following situations identify the agent exerting the force and object on which it acts. So state the effect of the forces in each case. So squeezing a piece of lemon between the fingers to extract its juice. So taking next one is taking out the paste from a toothpaste tube. And the third one is a load suspended from a spring which while its other end is on a hook fixed to a wall. So next fourth one is an athlete making a high jump to clear the bar at a certain height. So move on to the answer where in a squeezing a piece of lemon we make use of muscular force to extract its juice and this muscular forces acts on the lemon. As a result the shape of the lemon gets changed. So the next one is taking out the paste from a toothpaste tube. So here we use our muscular force to take out the paste from a toothpaste tube and the muscular force which acts on the toothpaste tube. As a result, the shape of the tube gets changed. And the third one is a load suspended from a spring while its other and which is on a hook fixed to a wall. Here the suspended load exerts a force on the spring and pushes the spring downwards. So as a result the springs get stretched. So hence its shape gets changed. So there is a change in the shape. So fourth one is an athlete making a high jump to clear the bar at a certain height. So here an athlete pushes the ground with his feet and his feet exerts a muscular force on the ground. This allows him to jump over the bar. As a result, his state of motion gets changed. So moving on to question number 6. So here question number 6 is a blacksmith hammers a hot piece of iron while making a tool. how does the force due to the hammering affect the piece of iron? And the answer is when a blacksmith hammers a hot piece of iron, he uses his muscular force. And this muscular force changes the shape of the iron so that it can be given a desired shape. So question number 7 is an inflated balloon was pressed against a ball after it has been rubbed with a piece of synthetic cloth. So here it was found that the balloon sticks to the wall and where what force might be responsible for the attractions between the ball and the or a balloon and the wall. And the answer is on rubbing an inflated balloon with a piece of synthetic cloth, it becomes charged. A charged body attracts an uncharged body as if the North Pole attracts the South Pole. So here, when this charged balloon is pressed against the wall and this sticks to the wall and the force acting between the charged balloon and the wall is an electrostatic force. So moving on to the question number where so here the name the forces acting on a plastic bucket containing the water held above the ground level in your hand. Discuss why the forces acting on the bucket do not bring a change in its state of motion. And the answer is we make use of muscular forces to hold a bucket of water above the ground. And this muscular force, which acts against the force of gravity that pulls the bucket towards the ground, and these two forces are equal in magnitude but opposite in directions, which is a vector quantity. And therefore, the net forces on the bucket is zero. So hence, there is no change in the state of motion. So as if we are using the muscular force to hold a bucket of water. So here, while lifting a bucket from the ground, so there is an opposite forces towards the ground. While it was in an opposite direction, so they get cancelled and the net force will be equals to zero. And the question number 9 is a rocket has been fired upwards to launch a satellite in its orbit. So name the two forces acting on the rocket immediately after leaving the launching pad. And the answer is the two forces acting on the rocket are the force of gravity, which pulls the rocket towards the ground, and the force of friction due to its Earth's atmosphere, which opposes its motion, as if above said. So the forces are in opposite directions. Last question, that is question number 10. So when we press the bulb of a dropper with its nozzle kept in water, air in the dropper is seen to escape in the form of bubbles. Once we release the pressure on the bulb, the water gets filled in the dropper. So the rise of water in the dropper is due to. So we have four, that is pressure of water, gravity of the earth, shape of the rubber bulb and the atmospheric pressure. So the answer is the rise of water in a dropper, and this option is as it is due to the atmospheric pressure. When all the that is option D, when all the air escapes from the nozzle, the atmospheric pressure which is acting on the water, the forces the water to fill the nozzle of the dropper. So yeah, absolutely.